Welcome to the 5th lesson of SmartKnitter, Knit Instructions Level 2. Today, we will delve into translation hints, warnings, and their resolutions. Let's start by examining a jacquard file. Navigate to Feeder Setup and translate it into machine code. A warning indicates that the third row of the pattern lacks a stitch density number. Due to the file's size, a line-by-line check is challenging. Instead, adjust the selected area to match the panel size and clear outside of the knitting region. Click Select Image. Select the panel area, then use the Clear tool to refine the selection. Initiate translation once more. This resolves the issue, and the file translates accurately. Let's proceed to the next file. Go to Feeder Setup and translate the file to machine code. A warning highlights the absence of a stitch density number at line 19. Zoom in for a closer examination. The text displaying the style number shares the same color as the body, both using color 10. Since the text and body share color, the system interprets the text as stitches. For knitting during translation, select the text and switch it to color 27. As discussed in prior tutorials, color 27 is ignored by the system. Translate again, and we can see the warning is resolved. Now, let's review another file featuring a panel in links and ribs with a striped base. A warning indicates that two feeders are on opposite sides of the knitting area. The panel is incomplete after translation. The section above the arm side bottom is absent in the machine code. Let's return to SmartGraph for inspection. To solve this problem, go to the translation setting page and select. When lock yarn in stripes, bind off by bind off with striping feeders alternatively. Upon retranslation, the issue is resolved. As these are thick stripes, another solution would be unchecking Auto Tuck for Stripe under Nut option. Let's look at another example. This file features a back panel. Go to the Feeder Setup and translate to machine code. A warning indicates that two feeders are on different sides of the knitting area, impeding the carriage's feeder pickup. This problem arises because the neckline is knitted using only one feeder instead of two partial knitting feeders. We can see that the left neckline employs plaiting feeders. However, Zone 2 chip is set to be partial knit feeder. To solve this problem, right-click on the Zone 2 chip in the feeder setup. Choose with plaited yarn and drag the B chip that appears to feeder slot 5. Upon translation, the issue will be resolved. Now, let's examine another file. This is a collar band knitted with repeats. A warning indicates that feeder 1 cannot be accessed by the carriage at line 189. For further details, navigate to the line specified in the warning. The warning indicates that feeder 1 is not engaged at this point. Return to SmartGraph. We can see that the row count of Ravel yarn is odd number. When doing repeated knitting, we must start at odd number row and ends in even number row. This allows the carriage to resume picking up the feeders for subsequent knitting instructions. Simply adding one row here to ensure an even number of rows resolves the issue upon translation. Moving on to the next file. This one involves cast on after setup using Ravel yarns. A warning shows that repeat 2 is not connected. Inspect the function lines to locate the specified warning line. At the cast on Ravel yarn sections, 2 unconnected instances of repeat number 2 are identified. Even though both sections are Ravel yarn, we cannot use the same repeat number. Fix this warning by modifying one of the repeat number to a distinct value. Retranslate, and the issue is resolved. Moving to the next file, a front panel with partial knitting. There's a warning indicating repeat 1 is not connected at line 611. We can see there are multiple repeat number 1 at the function line. They might be accidentally copied when the user was copying the Ravel yarn lines. Delete all unnecessary repeat markers and input repeat 1 for the first 2 lines. Retranslate, and the issue is then resolved. Therefore, after doing copying and pasting, please review the function lines before translation. Let's look at another file. This is the front panel of a cardigan with knitted half Milano placketed center and widening at the shoulder area. The file is very inefficient. There are 2,477 lines. For styles like this, we recommend using the align trim function, which significantly reduces knitting time. Select the panel and go to Tool Align Trim. A warning occurs indicating there is unsupported symbol at 126,264. We can see that the widening symbol is on the same line as the narrowing symbol, which is not supported by the Align Trim feature. Select the widening area and move them down by 1 row. Select the entire panel and use a line trim again. Narrowing is now done on the left side during jersey instead. The file is now knitting in 1149 lines, instead of 2,477 lines. Significantly increase efficiency. This marks the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.